The vast expanse of space twinkled with countless stars, each one a potential home to alien life. For centuries, humans had gazed at these distant lights, wondering if they were alone in the universe. Little did they know that beyond their solar system, a bustling galactic community thrived, filled with beings of all shapes, sizes, and colors. In the year 2157, humanity finally cracked the secret of faster-than-light travel. It was a moment that would change the course of human history forever. The first human ship to leave the solar system was the HS Pioneer, a small vessel carrying a crew of brave explorers. As they emerged from their first jump, they found themselves face to face with an alien patrol ship. The aliens, tall blue-skinned beings with 4 arms, were just as surprised to see the humans. After a tense moment, both ships powered down their weapons. First contact had been made, and it was peaceful. News of humanity's arrival spread quickly through the galaxy. Most alien races reacted with a mix of curiosity and caution. Humans were seen as newcomers, barely out of their cradle. Many alien species have been traveling the stars for thousands of years, and they viewed humans as primitive in comparison. The Galactic Council, a loose alliance of the most powerful alien civilizations, debated what to do about the newcomers. Some argued for isolation, fearing that humans might upset the delicate balance of power. Others saw potential in this young species and advocated for their inclusion. In the end, humanity was granted limited access to the galactic community. They were allowed to establish a small colony on a nearby planet and trade with other species. However, they were forbidden from accessing advanced alien technology or participating in galactic politics. Humans, being humans, didn't take well to these restrictions. They worked tirelessly to prove their worth, innovating and adapting at a pace that surprised even the most skeptical aliens. Human diplomats charmed their way into alien courts, while human scientists made breakthroughs that caught the attention of the galactic academic community. One alien species in particular took an interest in humanity. The Zorlath, a race of highly intelligent insectoid beings, saw potential in human creativity and adaptability. They became unofficial mentors to humanity, sharing knowledge and guiding them through the complexities of galactic society. As years passed, humans slowly gained more respect in the galaxy. Their colony expanded into a thriving hub of interspecies trade and cultural exchange. Human music, art, and cuisine became popular among certain alien circles. Even the stuffy Galactic Council had to admit that these newcomers were making a positive impact. But not everyone was happy with humanity's rise. The Drey, a warlike species known for their aggressive expansion, saw humans as a potential threat. They began to pressure the Galactic Council to limit human growth even further. Tensions rose as the Drey started to make threatening moves towards human-controlled space. The galaxy watched and waited, wondering how these upstart humans would handle their first real interstellar crisis. It was during this time of uncertainty that a group of human scientists and engineers began a secret project. Hidden away on a remote asteroid, they worked tirelessly on something that would change the course of galactic history. Rumors began to spread about a new type of ship being developed by humans. Alien spies tried to infiltrate human space, eager to learn more about this mysterious project. But human security was tight, and little information leaked out. As the Drey threats grew more serious, the galaxy held its breath. How would humanity respond? Would they cave to the pressure, or would they find a way to stand up to one of the most powerful species in the galaxy? Little did anyone know that deep in that secret asteroid base, humans were about to unleash something that would shock the entire galactic community. A warship unlike anything seen before in the history of space travel was taking shape, fueled by human ingenuity and the determination to survive. The stage was set for humanity to make its mark on the galaxy. The next chapter in their cosmic journey was about to begin, and it promised to be one that no alien species would ever forget. As humanity settled into its place among the stars, the Drey grew increasingly restless. These reptilian warriors, with their tough scales and fierce yellow eyes, had long seen themselves as the rightful rulers of the galaxy. The rapid rise of humans threatened their plans for domination. In a grand assembly on their home planet, the Drey leadership made a fateful decision. They would crush the human upstarts and use this victory to cow the rest of the galaxy into submission. Their supreme commander, a battle-scarred veteran named Krazak, unveiled their plan of attack. "We will strike swiftly and without mercy," Krazak hissed to the cheering crowd. "These soft-skinned humans will learn their place, or they will be wiped from existence." News of the Drey's aggressive intentions spread quickly through the galactic grapevine. Many alien races watched with a mix of fear and fascination. Some secretly hoped the humans would find a way to stand up to the bullies of the galaxy, while others prepared to pledge allegiance to the Drey to save their own skins. On Earth, the response was swift. Emergency meetings were called, and the planet's best minds gathered to form a plan. Admiral Sarah Chen, a decorated veteran of Earth's first interstellar conflicts, took charge of the defense efforts. "We may be new to this galactic stage," she addressed the United Earth Council, "but we didn't come this far to be pushed around by overgrown lizards. It's time to show the galaxy what humans are made of." As the Drey fleet began its march towards human space, Earth's allies scrambled to offer support. The Zorlath, true to their mentorship, provided advanced shield technology to help protect human colonies. Other friendly races sent supplies and volunteers to aid in the coming battle. But even with this help, the situation looked grim. The Drey war machine was vast and experienced, with weapons that could crack planets and ships that blotted out suns. Humanity's fledgling space force, while brave, seemed hopelessly outmatched. It was during this dark hour that whispers of Project Pandora began to circulate among the human ranks. Few knew the details, but hope spread that this secret weapon might turn the tide against the Drey threat. As the enemy fleet drew closer, strange reports began to filter in from the fringes of human space. Drey scout ships were disappearing without a trace. Distress calls would cut off mid-transmission, leaving only eerie silence. The Drey commanders were baffled, and though they'd never admit it, a little afraid. On the human colony of New Eden, civilians worked frantically to evacuate as the Drey approached. But just as all seemed lost, a massive ship unlike anything ever seen before dropped out of hyperspace. It was Earth's new flagship, the product of Project Pandora, and it was ready for its first real test. The ship, christened the HFY Odyssey, defied conventional design. Its hull seemed to shift and change, making it hard for enemy sensors to get a lock. Strange energy patterns danced across its surface, hinting at technologies beyond even the most advanced alien understanding. As the Drey fleet arrived, ready to lay waste to New Eden, they found themselves face to face with this bizarre human creation. For a moment, both sides hung in space, sizing each other up. Then, with a flash of light that seemed to bend reality itself, the battle began. The Odyssey moved in ways that should have been impossible for a ship its size, dancing between enemy fire with uncanny grace. Its weapons fired streams of energy that phased through Drey shields, as if they weren't even there. Back on Earth, Admiral Chen and her staff watched the battle unfold with bated breath. The Odyssey was performing beyond their wildest expectations, but the true test was yet to come. The Drey capital ships were moving into position, preparing to unleash their planet-killing weapons. As New Eden's sun rose over the horizon, casting light on the epic space battle above, the fate of humanity hung in the balance. The Odyssey stood alone against the might of the Drey armada, a testament to human ingenuity and the will to survive. The galaxy watched and waited. Would this strange new ship be enough to turn the tide? Or would humanity's bold stand be their final act in the cosmic theater? The battle for New Eden was about to reach its climax, and with it, the future of the galaxy would be forever changed. As the HFY Odyssey engaged the Drey fleet above New Eden, the story of its creation unfolded back on Earth. In a hidden underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, a team of Earth's brightest minds, had been working tirelessly for years on Project Pandora. Dr. Aisha Patel, the lead scientist of the project, stood before a group of military officials and politicians. Her dark hair was streaked with gray, evidence of the stress and long hours she had endured. With a deep breath, she began to explain the revolutionary technology behind the Odyssey. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, her voice steady despite her nerves, "what you're about to see will change warfare as we know it." The lights dimmed, and a holographic display flickered to life, showing a 3D model of the Odyssey. As Dr. Petal spoke, different parts of the ship lit up. The Odyssey isn't just a ship. It's a fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology we've gathered from across the galaxy. The hull is made of a new material we call quantum foam. It can change its properties at will, becoming harder than diamond or as permeable as a soap bubble. The officials murmured in amazement as the holographic hull rippled and changed before their eyes. "But that's just the beginning," Dr. Patil continued. "The heart of the Odyssey is what we call the chaos engine. It doesn't just bend the laws of physics, it rewrites them on the fly." She zoomed in on the ship's core, revealing a swirling vortex of energy that pulsed with an otherworldly light. The chaos engine allows the Odyssey to exist in multiple states at once. It can be in two places at the same time, or nowhere at all. It can absorb energy attacks and redirect them back at the enemy. In essence, it makes the impossible possible. One of the generals raised his hand. "Dr. Patel, this sounds like science fiction. How do we know it will work against the Drey?" Dr. Patel smiled. "Because, General, we've already tested it. Remember those Drey scout ships that went missing? That was us." The room erupted in excited chatter. For the first time since the Drey threat emerged, there was real hope. Meanwhile, aboard the Odyssey, Captain Jack Harper gripped the arms of his command chair as the ship danced through the Drey fleet. The bridge was a hive of activity, crew members calling out readings and status updates. "Chaos engine at 80% capacity," Captain reported Lieutenant Sarah Wong, her fingers flying over her console. "Reality distortion field holding steady." Captain Harper nodded, his eyes fixed on the main view screen. The Drey ships fired volley after volley, but their shots passed harmlessly through the Odyssey's flickering form. "Time to show them what we can really do," Harper said, a grim smile on his face. "Weapons officer, prepare the Schrödinger cannons." On the Drey flagship, Supreme Commander Krazak watched in disbelief as the human ship seemed to defy the laws of nature. His subordinates frantically reported conflicting sensor readings, unable to get a clear lock on the Odyssey. "Impossible," Krazak hissed, his scales bristling with rage. "No prey has ever escaped the Drey hunt. Fire everything we have." The space around New Eden lit up with the fury of the Drey arsenal. Planet killer beams, antimatter torpedoes, and gravity bombs all converged on the Odyssey's position. For a moment, it seemed as if the human ship had finally met its match. The Odyssey vanished in a blinding explosion that threatened to tear the very fabric of space-time. Krazak let out a victorious roar, but his triumph was short-lived. As the light faded, the Odyssey emerged unscathed, surrounded by a shimmering field of energy. Captain Harper's voice crackled over the Drey communication channels. "I believe it's our turn now." The Odyssey's Schrödinger cannons powered up, emitting a sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Beams of pure probability lashed out, striking multiple Drey ships simultaneously. Where they hit, reality itself seemed to unravel. Ships blinked out of existence, reappeared inside out, or merged with nearby vessels in impossible ways. As the battle raged on, news of the Odyssey's incredible capabilities spread throughout the galaxy. Alien races watched in awe as humanity, the newcomers they had once dismissed, unleashed a power that defied comprehension. Project Pandora's box had been opened, and the universe would never be the same again. The battle above New Eden raged on, with the HSS Odyssey at its center. As news of the strange human ship spread across the galaxy, Representatives from various alien races began to gather at the edges of the conflict zone. They came in ships of all shapes and sizes, drawn by an irresistible curiosity about this new power that had emerged on the galactic stage. Among the observers was Zlar, a respected elder of the Zorleth. His compound eyes gleamed with interest as he watched the Odyssey move in ways that should have been impossible. "Fascinating," he chittered to his aide. "It seems our human friends have surpassed even our wildest expectations." Nearby, a delegation from the Galactic Council had arrived in their massive ornate vessel. The council members, each representing a major galactic power, watched the battle with a mix of awe and concern. "This changes everything," murmured Sinra, the counselor from the Aetherian Collective. "If the humans can produce one such ship, they could make more. The balance of power in the galaxy will shift dramatically." Back on the Odyssey, Captain Harper and his crew worked tirelessly to push their ship to its limits. The Chaos engine hummed with power, its energies rippling through the ship in waves of impossible colors. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Wong, "we're detecting a massive energy buildup in the Drey flagship. They're preparing to fire their main planet killer weapon." Harper's eyes narrowed. This was the moment they had been waiting for. "All right, people, it's time to show the galaxy what the Odyssey can really do. Activate the reality anchor." Deep within the ship, a new system came to life. It was the most experimental and dangerous of all the Odyssey's weapons, drawing directly on the raw power of the Chaos engine. As the Drey flagship's weapon reached full charge, a blinding beam of energy lashed out towards New Eden. The colonists on the planet's surface watched in horror as death approached from above. But then something incredible happened. Just as the beam was about to strike the planet, it stopped. The energy hung in space, frozen in time. The Odyssey moved into position, its hull glowing with an otherworldly light. Tendrils of energy reached out from the ship, wrapping around the suspended beam. "Reality anchor engage," reported the ship's eye. "Preparing for dimensional fold." With a sound that seemed to shake the varied fabric of space-time, the Odyssey began to move. But it wasn't just the ship that was moving. It was dragging the frozen energy beam along with it. In a maneuver that left even the most experienced spacefarers speechless, the Odyssey performed an impossible fold in space. It looped around, bringing the tail end of the energy beam to point directly at the Drey fleet. Captain Harper allowed himself a small smile. "Release the anchor." In an instant, time resumed its normal flow. The planet killer beam, now redirected, lashed out at its own creators. The Drey fleet, caught completely off guard, had no time to raise their defenses. The result was catastrophic for the invaders. Their own weapon, amplified by the Odyssey's reality warping field, tore through their ships like paper. Explosions bloomed in silent bursts across space as the mighty Drey armada began to crumble. On his flagship, Supreme Commander Krazak watched in disbelief as his fleet was decimated by their own weapon. His yellow eyes widened in a mix of fear and grudging respect. "Impossible," he growled. "What manner of demons are these humans?" As the last of the Drey ships either fled or fell to the redirected beam, a stunned silence fell over the battlefield. The observing alien races, who had come expecting to witness the fall of humanity, found themselves reevaluating everything they thought they knew about the galaxy's newest spacefaring species. The Odyssey, its hull still shimmering with residual energy, took up a defensive position above New Eden. Captain Harper opened a channel to all nearby ships. "This is Captain Jack Harper of the HSS Odyssey," he announced, his voice calm but filled with resolve. "To the Drey and any others who would threaten humanity or our allies, let this serve as a warning. We come in peace, but we will defend ourselves with all the power at our disposal." As his words echoed across space, the gathered alien observers began to realize that they were witnessing more than just the end of a battle. This was the unveiling of a new galactic power, one that had just rewritten the rules of warfare and physics alike. The age of humanity had truly begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. In the days following the Battle of New Eden, the galaxy buzzed with excitement and fear. The HSS Odyssey had become the talk of every spaceport, diplomatic meeting, and alien household. Humanity, once seen as a primitive newcomer, was now viewed as a force to be reckoned with. On Earth, parades and celebrations erupted in every major city. The crew of the Odyssey were hailed as heroes, their faces plastered on every view screen. But in the quiet halls of power, leaders grappled with the implications of their newfound status. Admiral Sarah Chen sat in a secure briefing room, surrounded by holographic displays showing the aftermath of the battle. She addressed the gathered military and political leaders with a grave expression. "Ladies and gentlemen, while we celebrate our victory, we must prepare for what comes next. The galaxy now knows our capabilities, and not everyone will be happy about it." As if on cue, a priority message flashed across the main screen. It was from the Galactic Council, requesting an immediate audience with Earth's leaders. The message was polite, but the underlying tension was clear. Thousands of light-years away on the Drey homeworld of Shirak, a very different meeting was taking place. Supreme Commander Krasek, his scales dulled with shame, faced the Drey High Council. "Explain yourself, Krasek," hissed the eldest council member, her forked tongue flicking in anger. "How could you lose to these mammals?" Krasek's yellow eyes narrowed. "The humans, they are not what we thought. Their ship, it defied the laws of nature. We must learn its secrets at any cost." As the Drey plotted their revenge, the HSS Odyssey prepared for its next mission. Captain Harper stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. His first officer, Commander Elena Rodriguez, approached with a datapad. "Captain, we've received our new orders," she said, her voice a mix of excitement and apprehension. "We're to make diplomatic contact with the Andromeda Alliance, a group of species on the far side of the galaxy. It's further than any human ship has ever gone." Harper nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. "Well, Commander, let's show them what humanity can do. Prepare for long-range jump." The Odyssey's chaos engine spun up, reality warping around the ship. In a blink, they were gone, leaving only a ripple in the fabric of space-time. They reappeared at the edge of Andromedan space, where a welcoming committee awaited them. Ships of various designs surrounded the Odyssey, their crews eager to meet the species that had defeated the dreaded Drey. But as Captain Harper prepared to open communications, alarms blared across the ship. Lieutenant Wong's voice rang out. "Captain, multiple ships decloaking. It's an ambush." From the void of space, a fleet of sleek, predatory ships appeared. Their hulls were black as night, absorbing all light. At their center was a massive dreadnought, easily twice the size of the Odyssey. A transmission crackled through the comms. A deep, resonant voice filled the bridge. "Humans, I am High Admiral Vexlor of the Shadowkin Empire. Your victory over the Drey was impressive. But now you face a true test. Surrender your ship and its secrets, or be destroyed." Captain Harper's jaw set in determination. He looked around at his crew, seeing the same resolve in their eyes. "Well, folks," he said with a grim smile, "looks like we'll be making first contact and drawing first blood all in one day." Battle stations. The Odyssey's systems hummed to life, reality twisting around it as the chaos engine powered up. The Andromedan ships scattered, not wanting to be caught in the crossfire between these two titans of space. High Admiral Vexlor watched from his command throne, his 6 eyes glowing with anticipation. "So, the rumors are true," he purred. "This will be a glorious battle indeed." As the two fleets faced off, the fate of humanity hung in the balance. The Odyssey had proven itself against the Drey, but the Shadowkin were an unknown quantity, a shadowy empire that had remained hidden until now. The silence of space was about to be shattered by a battle that would echo across the galaxy. Humanity's strangest warship was about to face its greatest challenge yet, and the outcome would shape the future of interstellar relations for centuries to come. The battle between the HSS Odyssey and the Shadowkin fleet raged across the star-studded backdrop of Andromedan space. Beams of impossible energy crisscrossed the void, while reality itself seemed to bend and warp around the combatants. Captain Harper stood at the center of the Odyssey's bridge, his voice calm despite the chaos erupting around them. Evasive pattern Delta. Bring the Chaos Engine to full power. The human ship danced between enemy fire, its form shimmering and shifting. One moment it was there, the next it wasn't, leaving the Shadowkin weapons to pass harmlessly through empty space. High Admiral Vexilor watched from his command throne, all 6 of his eyes narrowed in concentration. Fascinating, he muttered. But let's see how they handle this. Launch the void torpedoes. From the Shadowkin dreadnought, a salvo of pitch-black projectiles erupted. They moved with unnatural speed, leaving trails of nothingness in their wake. As they approached the Odyssey, they began to absorb all energy around them, creating expanding bubbles of absolute darkness. "Sir," Lieutenant Wong called out, her fingers flying over her console. "Those torpedoes are creating localized zones of non-existence. Our sensors can't penetrate them." Captain Harper's mind raced. They had never encountered weapons like this before. But then, an idea struck him. If they want to play with the fabric of reality, let's show them how it's done. Activate the quantum foam projectors. The Odyssey's hull began to ripple and flow like liquid metal. Tendrils of shimmering energy reached out, wrapping around the advancing void torpedoes. For a moment, it seemed as if the ship was being consumed by darkness. But then, with a flash of blinding light, the darkness was pushed back. The void torpedoes imploded, collapsing in on themselves and taking a good portion of the Shadowkin fleet with them. On the Shadowkin dreadnought, alarms blared as systems began to fail. High Admiral Vexilor gripped the arms of his throne, his composure finally breaking. "Impossible. How can they turn our own weapons against us?" Back on the Odyssey, the crew cheered as they saw the enemy fleet in disarray. But Captain Harper knew the battle was far from over. "Now's our chance. Prepare the reality anchor. Let's end this." As the Odyssey moved into position, the remaining Shadowkin ships launched a desperate final attack. Energy beams and missiles converged on the human vessel from all directions. In that crucial moment, the Odyssey's Chaos Engine reached its peak. The ship seemed to exist in multiple places at once, each version absorbing and redirecting the enemy fire. The space around the battle became a kaleidoscope of energy and fractured reality. With a sound that seemed to shake the very stars, the reality anchor activated. The Shadowkin fleet found itself caught in a web of warped spacetime. Their ships stretched and compressed in ways that defied comprehension. High Admiral Vexilor watched in awe and terror as his mighty armada was reduced to twisted shapes of metal and energy. In the final moments before his dreadnought was torn apart, he sent out a transmission to the Odyssey. "You have won this day, humans. But know this, the galaxy will tremble at the power you wield. The Age of Shadows is ending, and a new era dawns." As the last of the Shadowkin ships disappeared into the fractured reality, an eerie silence fell over the battlefield. The Andromedan ships that had witnessed the conflict hummed back, their crews stunned by what they had just seen. Captain Harper took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. He opened a channel to the Andromedan fleet. "This is Captain Jack Harper of the HSS Odyssey. We come in peace, seeking diplomatic relations. What you have witnessed here today was not an act of aggression, but of self-defense." As the Odyssey powered down its weapon systems, news of the battle spread across the galaxy at faster-than-light speeds. On countless worlds, beings of all shapes and sizes gathered around communication devices, eager to hear about the latest feat of the strange human ship. In the halls of the Galactic Council, emergency sessions were called. The balance of power had shifted dramatically, and the old rules no longer applied. Some council members argued for immediately accepting humanity as a major galactic power, while others advocated for containment and study of this new threat. Back on Earth, Admiral Chen received the report of the Odyssey's victory with mixed emotions. Pride in humanity's achievement warred with concern over the implications. As she prepared to brief Earth's leaders, she couldn't help but wonder. In unveiling the Odyssey, had they opened Pandora's box for the entire galaxy? The ripples of the Odyssey's actions were spreading far and wide, reshaping the cosmic order in ways that no one could have predicted. The age of humanity had truly begun, and the universe would never be the same again. 1 year had passed since the HSS Odyssey's legendary battles against the Drey and the Shadowkin. The galaxy had changed more in those 12 months than in the previous millennium. Humanity, once a curiosity on the fringes of galactic society, now stood at its center. On Earth, the skyline of major cities had transformed. Sleek spires of impossible materials reached into the clouds, their designs influenced by a fusion of human creativity and alien aesthetics. In orbit, massive space stations served as hubs for interstellar trade and cultural exchange. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the window of her office in the newly constructed Terran Space Command, watching ships of various alien designs weave between Earth's defense platforms. She turned as her aide entered the room. "Admiral," the young officer said, "the Galactic Council representatives have arrived for the summit." Chen nodded, straightening her uniform. "Very well. Let's not keep our guests waiting." In the grand meeting hall, beings from across the galaxy had gathered. Some looked almost human, while others defied easy description. At the center of it all stood the HSS Odyssey's crew, led by Captain Jack Harper. As Admiral Chen entered, a hush fell over the assembly. She took her place at the podium and began to speak. "Distinguished representatives of the galaxy, honored guests, I welcome you to Earth. A year ago, we were newcomers to your cosmic community. Today, we gather as equals to shape the future of our shared stars." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Chen continued, her voice strong and clear. "The power of the Odyssey has changed the balance of the galaxy. But with great power comes great responsibility. We propose the formation of a new galactic alliance, one based on mutual respect, shared knowledge, and collective defense." As Chen outlined the details of the proposed alliance, reactions among the aliens varied. Some nodded in approval, while others whispered in concerned tones. Zilar, the Zorlath elder who had witnessed the Odyssey's first battle, stepped forward. "We have seen the strength of humanity," he chittered. "But strength alone does not build lasting peace. How you propose to use your power responsibly?" Captain Harper stepped up to answer. "By sharing it," he said simply. "The technology behind the Odyssey isn't just a weapon. It's a key to unlocking the deepest secrets of the universe. We're prepared to work with all peaceful races to explore its potential for the benefit of all." This declaration sent shockwaves through the assembly. The idea of humans willingly sharing such powerful technology was almost unthinkable. From the back of the hall, a familiar voice growled. Supreme Commander Krazak of the Drey pushed his way forward, his scales gleaming under the lights. "Pretty words," he hissed, "but actions speak louder. Prove your intentions." Admiral Chen smiled. She had anticipated this challenge. With a nod to her aide, a holographic display flickered to life in the center of the room. It showed blueprints for a massive structure. "This," Chen explained, "is the Harmony Project, a joint research station where scientists from all races can work together to unlock the secrets of the Chaos Engine and other advanced technologies. It will orbit a neutral star, protected by ships from every member of our new alliance." The assembly buzzed with excitement. Even Krazak looked impressed despite himself. As discussions continued late into the night, deals were struck, treaties were signed, and a new galactic order began to take shape. The HSS Odyssey, the ship that had started it all, was to become the flagship of the new Galactic Alliance's joint fleet. Months later, as the Harmony Station neared completion, Captain Harper stood on the Odyssey's observation deck, watching the massive structure take shape against the backdrop of stars. Commander Rodriguez joined him, a cup of coffee in her hand. "Quite a view, isn't it, sir?" Harper nodded. "To think, a year ago we were just trying to survive. Now we're helping to reshape the galaxy. Do you ever wonder if we did the right thing?" Rodriguez asked, "Unleashing this technology on the universe." Harper was quiet for a moment, considering. "I think," he said finally, "that every great discovery comes with risks. But it also comes with the potential for greatness. It's up to us, all of us, human and alien alike, to use it wisely." As they watched, ships from a dozen different species worked together to guide a massive component into place on the Harmony Station. It was a physical representation of the new era of cooperation that was dawning. The galaxy had been forever changed by humanity's strangest warship, but in the end, it wasn't the Odyssey's power to destroy that had made the biggest impact. It was its power to bring people together, to push the boundaries of what was possible, and to usher in a new age of exploration and understanding. As the first lights of the Harmony Station flickered to life, casting a warm glow across the cosmos, one thing was clear: the greatest adventure was just beginning.